Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. So we are answering a series of questions, and one question is, what did Mother Sita wear in the forest? Because many people say that Mother Sita wore ascetic robes when she went off to the forest, but that is not true. That is absolutely not true. So, Kaikeyi gives Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana ascetic robes to wear. And Sita, who was just 18 years old at that time, she was so innocent that she had no clue how to wear the ascetic robes. And, she innocently asks someone to help her. And Rama himself ties the ascetic robe around her shoulders. He himself drapes her with the ascetic robes. He puts it on top of her finery, on top of her royal robes. And then looking at Sita dressed like an ascetic, the women of Dashratha's palace, they were extremely sad and they were lamenting, because seeing Rama like that itself was too much. But to see Sita in that form was just too much for them to behold. And therefore, Vasishtha says, why should Sita go to the forest? Let Sita rule the kingdom. Let Sita rule. Sita is Rama himself. This is direct quote from Vasishtha. Sita is Rama's own self. So let Rama and Lakshmana go off to the forest if that's what Kaikeyi wants. And Rama, of course, promised that he will go to the forest. There is no way that Rama is going to rescind his promise. So let Rama and Lakshmana go off to the forest, but let Sita rule Ayodhya, because she is Rama's own self. But of course, Mother Sita does not really do that. And Dashratha asks his ministers to go to the treasury and to compute the amount of cosmetics and jewels and clothes that Sita would need to stay in the forest for 14 years. And all of that is brought in and placed on the back seat of the chariot. This level of information is given. It is also mentioned that Sita wore the robes that were given to her by King Dashrath, that is, the royal robes, and she went off to the forest. Multiple places in the forest, it is mentioned that Sita wore royal robes. For example, on the second night that they stayed in the forest, they slept beneath an ingudi tree. An ingudi is commonly translated as a fig tree. It is a very sacred tree. And it is an ingudi tree beneath which Mother Sita and Rama sleep. And it is on the banks of River Ganga. And then later on they cross River Ganga and they go on further deeper inside the forest. But then few days later, when Bharata comes to the forest, he is shown this particular place where Rama and Sita slept, and he can see the impressions by Rama's body, and he can see bits and pieces of gold jewelry on the ground, that is from Mother Sita, proving that Sita wore extremely heavy jewelry even when she slept. Sita does not remove her jewels when she sleeps. She wore extremely heavy jewelry even when she was fast asleep. And there were some gold threads from her veil that was stuck in between the grass. So gold veil is not part of the ascetic robes. It is part of the royal robes, proving that Sita wore royal robes when she was in the forest. Another place where it is mentioned that she wore royal robes is actually spoken by Rama himself. The day Sita was kidnapped, she wore a yellow garment with golden border. And Mother Sita wore that, and Rama remembered that, and he said, "Where is my Sita who was wearing Pita Kausheya Vasini, who was wearing yellow robes today? Who was wearing yellow silken robes today?" Once again, silken yellow robes are not part of the ascetic's costume, and therefore Sita wore royal robes when she was kidnapped. And she wore heavy jewelry as well when she was kidnapped. As we know that she removed the jewels and she gave the jewels to Sugriva. And another proof is that after the war was over, Vibhishana approached Mother Sita and offered her cosmetics and heavy jewelry and beautiful clothes. And Sita had a bath. She had multiple handmaidens. She had a bath, and she wore those beautiful clothes and ornaments and went in front of Rama. She wore the royal robes that were given to her by Vibhishan. Okay, so these are multiple proofs that she wore royal robes when she was in the forest. And the main proof is that Dashrata gave that and Sita wore those. In fact, it is even mentioned that the raft that Rama and Lakshmana built across River Yamuna, on that particular raft, they placed all the jewels and all the clothes and ornaments that were given to Sita by King Dashrath. That level of detail is mentioned. So that Sita could continue to wear royal robes when she was in the forest. And it's very beautifully mentioned over there. So if people say that Sita wore ascetic robes in the forest, know that it is not according to Valmiki Ramayana. Thank you. Haribol.